Today I'm going to give a presentation on printers and projectors. We'll start with projectors. First we have adjusting the image. Now, the projectors come with a factory setting with the image. They come factory set so that the image is going to be correct if you have the projector like this, but as you know, we hang the projectors upside down, so you're going to have to change it. And in order to do that, you'll go into the menu, and I think you go down here to extended, then you're going to go to projection. You're going to want to make sure it's on front ceiling. Let's see, some other things you might want to do when adjusting the image is keystoning the image. And in order to do that, you're going to go to settings, and right there is keystone. What keystoning allows you to do is it'll allow the projector to project an image on a tilted screen, so it can be tilted, back to the right, or the top can be tilted back. I can just kind of show you how it works. So the screen is flat, and the projection's, projecting directly at this. So it doesn't need any special keystoning, but that's kind of where you go if you need to keystone the image. Some other things you might need to do would be you might need to adjust the image to the left or right. You use this knob here. You might need to adjust the image up or down. You can use these. And sometimes you also need to adjust the bracket nuts. You want to try to avoid this. This is kind of like a last resort. But you can adjust the bracket nuts if you need to tilt the image to the right or left. Test. Sound better?
Yes, speak a little louder.
Okay. All right. So, some common maintenance that you'll need to do to the projectors are cleaning the filter. So it's located right over here. You just pull this out, and this one you'll just want to vacuum. You don't want to get water on it or anything, just vacuum it. Push that right back in, and then when you're done cleaning the filter, you'll want to make sure and reset the filter hours. You go to menu, reset, and then you go, okay. This particular projector doesn't have filter hours. A lot of other projectors that we have do have filter hours. I think it probably should. It's a good safety feature, but nevertheless, when you replace a lamp, you'll need to reset the lamp hours, and this is where you go. So, some other maintenance you'll need to do is replace the lamp. You come here to the side of the projector.
Maybe, if you want, everyone can come closer to Neil if you want to learn better, okay? Because sitting, you might not see everything. T, could you move little? I need that spot, yeah, clear.
I really don't need to unpackage this, but this is a new lamp. So take your lamp.
Never touch the glass
Right. You never want
with
to touch
your
the
fingers.
Because it can cause the lamp to explode. So don't want to do that. So you just make sure that this brown piece here is facing up. Push it in. Make sure it's nice and snug in there. Make sure it's tight as well. If it's not tight enough, it might not work. So make sure you tighten it down good. Okay, so that's how you replace the lamp. You also might need to clean the lens. You clean the lens the same way you clean a computer screen or monitor. Just spray a little bit of lens cleaning fluid on a cloth that's specifically designed for cleaning like a glass surface or like a monitor, and then just give it a wipe. So that's something we'll be doing regularly. Okay. So some of the common problems we encounter with projectors are, a professor will call and they'll say, well...
Do you know what? Could you stop for a second? I see that Bob is interested in probably making a practical test how to remove the filter, right?
Yeah,
No. If you want to check, do it.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah, do it.
Come up here and.
It's more important to do one thing right than.
Something else. It's another thing I didn't cover that might be worth showing too. Oh well, we'll just keep moving on. So one of the common problems that we have is that the projector simply will not turn on. And what I usually do, which I find most helpful, is just power cycling it. So I'll unplug it and I'll let it sit for a little while, 15 or 30 seconds, then plug it back in. That usually works. Now, if that doesn't work, then it could be that the filter hours have reached its max. That won't happen on this model of projector, but it'll happen on some of the other model projectors we have. When the filter hours reach a certain point or a certain number, then sometimes it won't turn on, it won't function. So that's something else that can help. The lamp hours, I think the same thing can happen with lamp hours. If they get too high, the projector won't work. So then your next option, if those two don't work, your next option would be to probably reseat the RS-232, and this is the communication cable on the back here. Would be right here. And then if that doesn't work, then you want to check the controller, which is going to send signals from a control panel. From a control panel, kind of like this. The controller is going to send those signals to the projector. Other setups we have don't have a control, don't have a controller, and it's just a control panel directly to the projector. So if you're dealing with a setup like that, where you just have a control panel and no controller, and then just the projector, and then you can try receiving the power for the control panel, making sure everything's connected on that. But those are unlikely. Most likely the case is going to be that you need to power cycle it or reset the filter hours or lamp hours. So that's that. No image on the projector. This can simply mean that the projector is not turned on. You just want to make sure it's turned on. You want to make sure the correct device is selected. Sometimes a professor will forget to select a VCR or DVD if they're trying to play that. It might be on PC or something. It might be on like a dot cam, which isn't turned on, so it's just black, and then also rare circumstances that the projector is not on the correct input source. There's a variety of different input sources here. We have VGA, HDMI. You got a variety of input sources, and they're supposed to be set to automatically select the correct source, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So if they're trying to place something that's supposed to be going through the HDMI, you want to manually select HDMI from the remote. So I want to make sure that it's on the right input source. A clicking noise when the projector is trying to turn on is another common problem, and this almost always means that the lamp needs to be replaced. The clicking is like the projector trying to turn on the lamp, and it can't, so it just keeps trying to do that. So that's another common problem. Now the theory of operation. This is for the projectors we have on campus here, and you have a lamp. The lamp sends the light through a prism, and then the prism separates the light into red, green, and blue panels. And then individual pixels on each panel can be opened and closed to form colors and shades for that panel. And then the color channels are recombined before being output through the lens. So that's just kind of the basic. Obviously it goes much more in depth, but that's just your basic theory of operation. This is for LCD projectors, mind you. Printers. So some of the common maintenance that we need to do on printers are loading paper. That's pretty self-explanatory. However, you do want to make sure the guides are set to 8.5 by 11, because if one of the guides is pulled way out, the printer might not. It thinks you're supposed to have larger paper in it, so you want to make sure the guides are tight to the paper. We'll also be replacing toner cartridges. That's pretty easy. I can even show Tang if you want me to show you. I think all you guys know, but if you want me to show you, I can show you.
Sure.
The toner cartridge.
Yeah, you can go to the printer. Actually, everyone can go.
So just, here you go. this is empty, empty placement, doesn't really matter. But the new one that you get, you want to relatively quickly take the new one out of the packaging and get it in here. And you want to do it relatively quickly to avoid exposing the cartridge to too much light, because it's light sensitive. You're not supposed to expose it to light that much. That's why it comes in a black plastic packaging inside the box. So, just make sure it's tight. Press the button. There you go. That's it. Then the paper. Here's the paper goes. This is the guide that I sent that. You want to make sure this doesn't really get moved. If it does get moved, you want to make sure it's back to the correct position. Well, it's pretty much the same, but just smaller. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And then, after you do replace the cartridge, it can be, you really should print a test page just to make sure that it's printing properly, which I'll just show you how we would do it. We won't wait, so that'll take too long to go like this. Go to information, print config, and click that. And once it warms up, it'll print that, but that could take a few minutes. In fact, we could even come back once it prints out, or we can stop and then let it print, and then it could.
Well, probably it will take a few minutes, so we can go and do other things.
Okay. We'll also be vacuuming the printers. Over time, the inside of the printer collects toner dust, and if it's not vacuumed, it can get onto pages and stuff. So we vacuum the printers regularly, inside and out. We also we replace the maintenance kits on the printers every 350,000 pages, and that consists of a transfer roller, freezer, transfer rollers, which pick the page up and transfer it where it needs to go. Over time, those smooth out and don't work quite right. So, some of the common problems we have with printers are that it prints extremely slowly, and this is pretty common like around noon or right in between classes when everyone's trying to release prints at the same time. The printer, my theory is that it gets overwhelmed with print jobs, and now, like I said, it's not, oftentimes the case isn't that it's not printing at all. It will print a few pages here and there, so it can be tempting to leave the printer on and just wait and hope that it's going to speed up, but it almost never speeds up in a reasonable amount of time. So what I do is I just power it off, wait for a little while, 30 seconds, and then power it back on, and then it usually goes back to normal. So. Now, a relatively common problem is getting a line on the center of the page, and this happens when the transfer roller gets too dirty. This is supposed to pull the excess toner off, and over a period of time, maybe a month or a month and a half, this can fill up the toner, and when they have to change the toner, then we need to clean them. And I mean, our first. We prefer vacuuming the toner, these transfer rollers, but in an extreme circumstance, when it's really dirty, we would want to almost like soak it in water, or not this entire piece, mind you, just this black bar which you can pop off. But we would want to rinse that under water, dry it thoroughly, let it sit out and dry for a day, then put it back on. Usually it works fine. Horizontal streaks or dots going across the page. This is relatively common. And what we want to do in this situation is just replace the fuser with our temporary from ring 9. And then we'll want to clean it. And the horizontal streaks are from toner that's stuck on the fuser. And so you clean it with alcohol and Q-tips. It's kind of cumbersome, but we don't want to scratch the diffuser. So that's how you do that. Jams. The printer usually tells you where the jam is. It'll say, left door, right door, whatever, front door. But sometimes it's not so obvious. Like sometimes it'll tell you to open the right door and it's somewhere there, My first, place to look when it tells me this is, I'll look at the printer, right at the printer, kind of into it, but sometimes it can actually be right in the door. So, you never want to use metal devices to remove the paper while the printer's on. You don't want to get shocked or electrocuted or anything like this. So be careful not to do that, although it can be tempting. Kind of the theory of the operation for printers, for laser jets at least, is this here. We have a coronal wire that's attached to the drum assembly, and it gives the drum a positive and negative charge. This gives the drum a static charge, allowing something of the opposite charge to hit. Then as the drum spins, the laser scanning unit here shines a laser along the surface to change the charge of that area, and then this creates letters, numbers, and images that will transfer to the paper later. So then the toner clings to those parts of the paper. As the drum spins, the oppositely charged toner is attracted to those areas that the laser hit, and the toner stays on the page in the right location because it's static electricity, and then it gets pressed on by the fuser. So here's laser unit, drum. This is your transfer roller right here that I was talking about. And then for a color laser jet, it's pretty much the same, except it goes through the process 4 times, so that it can hit, all these different colors. That's it.
Okay, gentlemen, what time is now? Is 3:35. Now, I want you to look again at the PowerPoint, scan the pages, and I want every one of you to have related directly, but not necessarily, questions to these 2 electronic devices, okay? It is very important team of equipment to support, so we all need to be very comfortable with using, maintaining, repairing, and etc. printers and projectors. I want you to touch it, and after today, everyone, including T, you should be able to do these operations.
I'm trying to get the document camera display.
If you don't have questions, I will have questions for you, okay? So it's better to ask him instead be asked. Being asked.
Often say we do it once every 3 weeks.
Could you repeat the question louder?
Tang asked, how often do we vacuum the printers? And I'd say probably once every 3 weeks at least. There's also not so common problems too. The printers get a lot of use, so you'll see both your common problems and you'll see a fair amount of not so common problems as well. In which case you consult like an official service manual, which we have on our computers in the office. But yeah, so I can see that, like power supply failure, something like this. You'll see a lot of this, image on the projector, compressors falling in.
Sure. What do you do when the fuser squeaks? Like the one in 273.
Well, what we would do is...
Very difficult question.
Wow.
But very good question.
What I would do is I would replace it with a replacement from Wing 9, and then we diagnose it. We try to figure out what's going on with the fuser, why is it squeaking in Wing 9. It's not such a common problem, so we don't have like a textbook. We don't have a standard procedure for what to do with the squeaky fuser. But most likely it's some kind of manufacturing defect, something like this. But we would replace it with a replacement from Wing 9, and then try to figure it out. Try to figure out why the squeaky one is squeaking in Wing 9.
Okay, so I have question for Bob. Bob, how many inputs this projector has? How many inputs this projector has? V, could you help him? Okay, start to name them.
S video, we have one. We have HDMI.
Okay, so
We have
any more?
video cable for image only, and we have left and right.
Okay, Neil, could you go and help them?
Sure. C cable. Computer 1, computer 2 is well, this is a VGA. I think it's the second VGA to HDMI. It has video. Composite, yeah. Composite.
Or component?
Then we have component 5, the first VGA, or another VGA 6, and then another, essentially, yeah, another composite, 7. Yeah, the B and C form of composite versus the RCA form.
Okay, so V, repeat these inputs.
2 VGAs, one composite and then a component, and an HDMI.
Did he miss anything?
That's video.
As video, okay. So again, how many? Who counted? Sid, did you count how many?
There's
6
6.
inputs. Okay. Okay, so it was question for Bob. Did you answer this question?
And a few of them.
Okay. So next time, I want you to answer, okay? Question for T. If you don't have any more questions, I have questions for you. Could you show me how you will clean the filter, air filter? How you will do it?
And then vacuum the filter and put it back.
Okay, thank you. Sid, question for you. How many screws there are if you need to replace the lamp? How many screws you need to touch?
Well, there's 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside.
Troy, is he right?
Yeah, 2 on the cover and 2 on the lamp.
Okay, good. Okay, so what about printers? Bob, do you have any questions about printers? So I understand you know everything, right? About the printer? Okay. Why do we have sometimes poor quality printout with very distorted part of it, like
This might come from several reasons, but one of them comes from the maybe the fuser. The fuser is something's wrong with the fuser. Like that's the reason why you have the image is distorted. So you either have to change the fuser and then replace with a new one.
okay, you named one. Any other reasons? V.
The transfer roller. Get that line on the page.
Right. So what might be wrong with this transfer roller?
Like the toner on there. You have to clean.
Too much toner, right?
Yeah.
Dirty. Okay. Sid, how soon we should replace the drum, the fuser?
Fuser. Well, we do maintenance on it every 3 weeks, but actually replace
Cleaning,
it,
cleaning.
I'm not sure.
Clean. If you will not look at me, but at the screen you will know.
Replacing every 350,000 pages. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
thought that was
Neil.
just for maintenance checks. It wasn't user included.
Yeah, including transfer fuser, transfer rollers, right? Mm-hmm. Troy, question for you. It's easy to clean the jam.
Is it? Normally it is.
With what?
Normally it's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Why? Where you can find the help?
It'll tell you on the display where the jam is, and you just pull it out,
Mm-hmm.
close the door, then it'll clear itself.
Okay. Neil, question for you.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between black and white laser printer and color are in the process of producing or printing the color and black and white printout.
Right, the color laser jet sends each sheet of paper through the black and white process 4 different times so that it gets, yellow, black, and the other colors applied to it. So it just applies each color once at a time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that it is printed at the same time or one after another?
I think each page will go through 4 times, then it'll send another sheet, it'll go through 4 times.
But it goes pretty fast, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any one of you has any idea? Actually, except T, every one of you should have idea how many pages we can print per minute on these printers. Between 1 and 10, first option, between 10 and 20, between second option, between 20, 30, and the fourth option between 40, 50.
40.
Huh?
40, 50.
How many?
Say
Louder, louder.
40 or 50.
40 or 50 pages per minute, right? Mm-hmm. How many agree with Bob?
I would say
40, 50, right?
I agree. I don't know for sure.
40, 50.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go to web page. Type in Google. I will say Google. Okay. Up to 40 pages per minute. Can you imagine how fast? And what about our color printer? Do you remember the model number? 47?
4700.
Yes. Almost the same speed in color, which means they are pretty fast. Did my questions raised or inspired you to ask more questions about printers and projectors?
So what's usually projector, like when are you gonna, when you have a problem with the image, projecting the image, so you're going to go to Keystone first or you go to this?
Well, it depends on the problem you're having. So you're saying that
Could you go and
the
bring me
image,
any printed pages from the printer?
image looks distorted.
Whatever is printed.
I guess before going to Keystone, I would use these left-right knobs, and then if that doesn't fix it, if that doesn't fix it, I still might even adjust the nuts on the brackets, the mounted brackets, and then if that doesn't work, then I would try Keystone. Because you really only need Keystone if the screen is slightly tilted, like left or right or back, kind of like this. Most of the screens are not tilted.
Bob and T, I want you to go to the printer and print for me print test page.
What causes a green screen
Green screen
on the projector?
Oh, I think that could be when like, it's hard to say. Something to do with a digital signal switcher. I don't have a correct digital signal.
It seems to help when we like reset the system in Centennial, like that'll fix it, but any room that we've done that to, it's came back, but when it's mostly with the Blu-ray players, it seems to be. I'm not sure what it is about the Blu-ray players that cause the reading screen.
I think part of the system thinks that you're trying to use counterfeit digital media or something like this. I remember we had that in here once. I don't remember why it thinks that, but
Sony has like a DRM or
Yeah.
Brad.
digital rights.
Yeah.
T. Now you will go and you will print for me. Okay?
Maybe
Okay.
this-
Any one of you can replace, switch the lenses? Who knows how to replace, switch lenses?
Done it on the older ones, but not.
It's roughly the same spin.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Here, you know, it shows. It's probably not
No, it's just a little button, you push it, and so all out.
The white dot. Line the white dot.
Could you show it to T? And actually every one of you should look closer at this because it is pretty precise operation. It is very easy but needs your precision, and in fact I will ask some of you to do it again.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Get it out, press the button.
So make sure the white button is on the top.
And I want every one of you to do this operation, everyone. But be very careful not to break anything. And okay. Yeah, you already cleaned. Okay, put back. Okay, I think that sitting on the chair is not very comfortable and not very professional position of working with any kind of equipment. Okay, Neil, could you put this lens back? And T, I want you to look carefully. You will do it again, but not immediately after Neil will put this, but after other people. V, could you be the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so now V will do it. Okay. Good job. Troy?
We have a security script for this.
We can, yeah. That can prevent people from just hitting this button. Yeah, so sometimes you might need a screwdriver, an extron screwdriver to get in there.
Okay,
There is
T, could you
one, yeah.
could you do this again, T? Okay. Good job. Gentlemen, if you look at the lower right corner, you will see the magic numbers. 359. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Neil. And see you tomorrow.